Does your parent repeat the same questions over and over and over again? In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips on how to best interact with them, and I'm going to share what you should never ever do when your parent repeats questions. Hi there, I'm Sophia, and I'm bringing you new videos every Tuesday to help you be a more successful, more satisfied, and more informed family caregiver. One of the first symptoms of dementia that your parent might be experiencing is to repeat the same questions over and over. Not only is this a new experience for them, it's also a new experience for you, and you might need to relearn how to best communicate with them. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 tips to improve your communication with your parent who repeats the same questions over and over. Tip number 1, understand the behavior. If you have an understanding of your parent's behavior, it's really going to help you to respond to them in a helpful way. This behavior of asking the same question over and over is a symptom of their aging brain. And your parent has no control over this. They have no memory of the fact that they've just already asked you this question before, maybe 10 times already. You might think that your parent is doing this just to make you mad or frustrated or irritated, and sometimes it's really hard to tell the difference, especially in the early stages when the brain is just starting to change. But let me ask you this. If their behavior was on purpose and they're just trying to get a rise out of you, how would you react to them? You'd probably really get angry and have an angry reaction to them and maybe say some hurtful things. You might overreact and get mad, which really just causes the situation to escalate. You might storm out of the room. All of these things would cause your parent to feel bad, really bad. If on the other hand, you always assume that your parent had absolutely no control over their behavior, how would you react then? Well, you'd probably be a lot more patient and understanding and sensitive, and your responses would be more loving and more appropriate, which in turn will de-escalate the situation. So wouldn't it be much less stressful for you both to just always have this assumption? So tip number 1 is understanding and behaving like your parent has absolutely no control and that it's not their fault. Tip number 2, react to the emotion behind your parent's questions. Try to get to the emotion that your parent might be experiencing that's behind their repeated questions. Are they feeling anxiety or fear? For instance, if every evening your parent repeatedly asks you, "Did you remember to lock the doors?" they might be feeling unsafe or fearful. While you could just answer the question in a nice way, you could also add something to address their fear. For example, you might respond, "Yes, I locked the door and we're safe here. Yes, no one can get in here. Yes, I locked the door and I'm going to stay here with you." This might help reduce their fear and make them ask that question a little less frequently. Tip number 3 is to learn to redirect. If your parent is asking the same questions repeatedly within minutes, then you should practice redirecting them. Try to get them to focus on something else, even if it's just for a little while. For instance, if every 1 or 2 or 3 minutes your parent is asking, "When are we going on vacation?" you can respond, "We're going tomorrow. Can you help me pack the suitcase?" Or, "We're leaving tomorrow. I love vacation. Where's your favorite vacation spot?" Or, "We're going tomorrow. I think it's lunchtime. Let's go have our sandwich." Tip number 4, be aware of your responses. Take a minute and think back to a time when your parent was asking repeated questions and maybe you didn't respond ideally. What was your go-to behavior in those circumstances? Think about your tone of voice, your words, your body language, and your actions. Was there some reaction in you that you wished that was different? There's really no judgment here. We all react less than ideal sometimes, including me. But it's really important to have an awareness and some insight into your own behavior so that we can make changes. So if after the 5th or 10th time your mother asked you what time it was, do you moan a little? Or do you let out a little scream under your breath? Do your face and shoulders get all tensed up and stressed? In me, I tend to crack my neck, which shows my obvious stress. Do you lose your smile? You might answer the question again, but I bet you it's not in the same way that you did 10 answers ago. But guess what? It is the first time your parent is hearing this answer because they don't remember all the other times that you already answered that question. So when your response is stressed and angry, they're going to feel like you're angry at them or that you don't like them, and that is not how you want your parent to feel at all. So just pick one or two of your less than ideal responses and practice having a different response. Start your day with the intention of improving your responses to repeated questioning. You know that your parent is going to repeat questions today, so be prepared. Walk into the room with the intention to have a calmer voice and reduce stress, even when the question is asked for the 10th time. Keep reminding yourself in your mind, I'm not going to stress out. I'm not going to raise my voice. I will be kind and loving above all else. This might take a lot of practice, so don't beat yourself up if you mess up. Every learned behavior takes a lot of practice. You might ask, why should you have to change? And the answer is because between you and your parent, you're the one who can. And your parent cannot change the way that their brain works. And by making some changes in your own behavior and your reactions, you're going to notice a significant difference in the interaction between you and your parent. And as promised, here are the things that you should never ever say to your parent who repeats the same questions over and over. I just told you that. You already asked me that. Don't you remember? Stop asking me that question. Or any other similar response. These are not helpful and they just make your parent feel bad. They make them feel dumb and unloved. And that's opposite of what you want. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. If you have other suggestions that have helped you, please leave a comment below. And if this information was helpful in any way, then please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And while you're at it, hit that bell so you don't miss any new videos. Next up, I recommend you watch these 2 videos for the best outcome for you and your parent. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time.